Parth Sharma with us, who has done his master's in industrial engineering and management from Technical University of Denmark. Through this interview, we are going to know more about his experience at Denmark and about this career, rare career that he has chosen. So over to you, Parth. How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's very cold in Denmark. So it's now it's all Christmas celebrations here going on, Christmas and New Year. So it's a festival season and but a bit cold.
Okay, so there would be vacations now going on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for beginners, let's start about your introduction and your journey for undergrad at DTU.
Okay, so I have done my bachelor's from Delhi Technological University, DTU, and I have passed in 2018 in production and industrial engineering. And then for 3 years, I worked in Escorts Railway Equipment Division in Faridabad. And then I joined DTU in my master's in industrial engineering and management from August of 2021. So this is a 2-year course. And currently I'm in my first semester.
Okay, got it. So you were at DTU and you had chosen this like production and industrial engineering. Like this is a very rare degree that someone choose for. So can you just like elaborate on what is this degree about and what are the job opportunities after someone pursuing this degree?
So production and industrial engineering from DTU is the oldest production engineering degree in India, which DTU gives. Like DTU was the first university in India which started production engineering. So this is more of a, I would say, sister branch of mechanical, whereas mechanical is more focused on the hardcore technical stuff like research and development, designing of products and items, but once they are designed, then they go into a full production. So full production is somewhat different from the designing part, because in designing part, you have to use your creativity to design the part once. But once it is designed, in the production part, you have to repeatedly make the same product again and again and again and again. You have to ensure that the repeatability is there. Like if I am making one iPhone, so it is one part, it is to design the first iPhone, but then to produce 1 million iPhones and exactly in same with same specifications and same design. This requires the use of production engineering tools and industrial engineering parts. So this is the part which is more focused on the after designing phase and the full manufacturing and production phase of the parts. Okay. So that this is more of a product. This is the role of a production engineer.
I means just after 12th you were decided to like you were actually aware about these two things, and then
actually I was not aware of this thing, but I had a friend of mine who was doing production engineering, so I talked to him, got to know more about the branch and what are the courses which they teach there, and it increased my interest to pursue this field, so I opted for this.
Okay, means this was a safe field, because as you told that it is very good at DTU, because since it is a very traditional course they had.
Pretty old course in DTU. Yeah. So
yeah, that makes sense. Means mostly parents like would be looking like moving their children to mostly computer science or maybe ENTC mechanical, and this is something new that I came across. Yeah, and like what is the eligibility criteria for this? Like which exam did you appear for this, and is the cutoff high or low for this rare field?
Well, I gave my JEE exams in 2014 or something, so it's pretty old. At that time, I scored a 183 in JEE mains, but at that time the system was such that the system coupled your score in JEE as well as what you scored in your 12th grades.
Okay.
So based on those, you get the final ranking. So what I remember, I got a rank of like 26,000 or something, and yeah, I got production in like one of the 4th or 5th of, I guess, the spot round of DTU. I don't know exactly. Okay. So I guess the cutoff goes around like 30,000 or something.
Okay.
Production at that time. Now I don't know what are the latest ranks or cutoffs.
Okay, got it. Means normally it would lie below CS for cutoff. Means maybe it's
Yeah,
difficult for CS to get
it is
into.
like after CS and electrical, it
Mm.
is roundabout near mechanical civil branches.
Okay, okay, got it, got it. And but like, what are the job opportunities after doing this? Like, what can someone expect to be working with some companies, or there are like anything niche companies that they are looking for production engineer or industrial engineers, something like that.
So the market is like pretty big because in mechanical, wherever mechanical is used, you
Hmm.
can use production engineering. So
Okay.
so I so like it is like if you are in the automobile sector, that is also open for production. If you have a let's say food processing companies, they are also open for production. If you have let's say your uh, audio companies, even audio companies like which make like headphones and other equipments, they are also open for production. So wherever the production is happening, wherever a task is being repeated multiple times during the day and year, a production engineer or industrial engineering comes into the picture.
Okay, okay, got it.
So it is a very, very big industry. Automobile manufacturing, like wherever manufacturing is happening, even as wherever assembly shops are happening, everything is open for a production engineer. So it's a very versatile branch. And even some part of our study curriculum also trains for business analytics part, which is like a hot topic right now. So if you want, you can go into these areas as well, where consulting is happening, because there are many consulting companies which works for manufacturing companies as well. Like I guess KPMG and McKinsey also have their certain divisions which act as consultants for manufacturing companies. So even those companies get open for production engineers as well, because we have the background knowledge for consulting. So it's a good advantage for us.
Okay, Path. So I think that production engineer can be a alternative for someone who is more interested in mechanical engineering. Like, I guess this is more beneficial than mechanical engineering.
Yeah, more versatile. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think like someone who has done undergrad in mechanical engineering can do this for like their further studies?
Yes,
Because
yes, it is very possible. I have many of my friends here
Mhm.
in industrial engineering who have a bachelor's and master engineering. Sorry, bachelor's in mechanical engineering, or like
Okay.
even production or industrial. So anyone can do industrial engineering who has a background in mechanical.
Got it. And no, of course, no doubt that you are from DTU, so it has been a great journey for you to complete your degree from in production and industrial engineering from DTU. But other than this, can you just give more brief about your projects? Like I see that you also had a thesis at just bachelor's level. So can you just elaborate on this?
Yes, yes. So like my bachelor's thesis was spanned for around like 2 years, because I started my thesis in my third year with a
Okay.
group of friends, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a more of a supply chain centric thesis, in which like we had like jot down all the problems which a typical supply chain faces in India, and then we use some statistical tools to filter those uh, reasons of failures, and then we rank them in order of their effectiveness. So like we short down, like we shortlisted around 30 reasons, and then we condensed them into like 10 reasons using statistical tools like analysis, and then those 9 final reasons for failures were like ranked based on their scores we had. So like it was a pretty long thesis which we did.
Mm-hmm. I got it. Also, I see that like this is not a typical core branch. I think like that, like you won't be having like something project related to coding or maybe like making robots or something, but it was like more of an analysis project, I think.
Yeah, it's not coding centric
Mm-hmm.
course. So if you want, you can learn the coding part for some of the maybe thesis work or a project work. but as such, the part of the curriculum is not coding.
Mm-hmm. That's,
Yes.
I think, one of the perk this field has, because no,
Yeah,
mostly
sort
people
of.
don't like coding much.
Yeah, it depends, but like if you somehow plan on doing a master's in the long run,
Mm-hmm.
it's better to at least have some experience in coding, because in India maybe coding is not that much used, but like here in Denmark and even in Europe or maybe in US also, there are many courses which you make use of
Mm-hmm.
coding, even in like basic things. So it's good to have experience in coding if you plan on doing a master's.
Right, right. Okay, Parth, let's talk about your first internship. I think you were role as in process production training. Just can you just give us more information and on how did you got this opportunity? What was your role over there, and how was your experience?
Yeah, so like my first internship was in my hometown, which is like Meerut in Uttar Pradesh. So there is
Mm-hmm.
a milk production unit, which is a government established production unit of like milk. And in the dairy production unit, I had to like go and visit and understand what are the different types of processes which they follow in processing of the milk. Now, like how the milk comes from the villages to the production unit, how it is processed, how it is fermented, how pasteurization takes place, and then how they extract different parts of the milk, and then they make different sub byproducts of the milk. Like you have paneer, you have khoya, you have uh, curd, you have many dairy products. So, and then from the milk you have they it's segregated based on their fat content as like toned milk, full toned milk, and like no what they were skimmed milk. Yeah, so all these processes like I saw from my like on live, and how they do the quality checks for the milks.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very good learning experience for me.
Okay, so and how did you approach this? Something like it was a part of like DTU curriculum that they are going to provide their students.
That was not a part of requirement of our courses. It was
Mm-hmm.
like it was my summer break, and I wanted to do something and
Mm-hmm.
understand how production takes place actually in a practical scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So I approached them and I discussed with them that I want to understand how you do production. So they invited me to be an intern for 1.5 months.
Okay, and are there like openings in every company or organization, or like there are some typical organization that needs these like production engineers in general?
I don't think so. In India, there is still a culture of having interns for around 1 month or so.
Mm-hmm.
It's you who have to approach the company with your and showcase them. You want to learn and help the company in some way or the other. And companies
Mm-hmm.
are usually open to have an outsider to look at their processes so that they can give a third person's perspective of their systems and improvements. So it is good to have a third point of view for improvement, because when you are involved in the system, you might not see anything going wrong. But if
Mm-hmm.
an outsider comes and analyze your system, he might give a good recommendations to you.
Yeah, yeah, true,
So
true.
but it's in the end, it's you who have to approach the company. They don't have as such any openings for interns.
Okay, so it depends on our skills and how we like talk and interact with the company and how just we
Exactly.
make ourselves available to the company. Okay, and let's talk about your second internship, and it was, I guess, a major one because you were working under, I guess, government of National Capital Territory of Italy. So
Yeah. So
just
now my second internship was with the Office of Chief Minister of Delhi. So the Delhi has like a very big transport system,
mm-hmm,
Delhi Transport Corporation, and they run a lot of buses. Like they have a collaboration with what was the collaboration? They have like they run the buses in collaborations. They have many different types of buses running short route, long route, and they have AC buses, non-AC buses. They have a very big network of buses. And then you have like what I had to do, I like we had to analyze the data and then figure out the routes which were responsible for the most losses, and what were the reasons for the losses which were going on. So it was a good internship because it told us that how the services which we are using in our city actually are working in the back end. On the front, as a customer, you only see buses coming and going, but behind that front end, there is a lot of back end work, and there's a lot of huge system which is set up and it functions. So it was a very good learning experience for me in that internship.
Right. And like again, like what was your strategy? Because normally when someone is approaching company, they just go on LinkedIn and they can find and they can just email them, because this one was like a government organization. So did you had any connection, family background or something to approach them?
No. So like, from what I heard one of my seniors, which was like who had earlier worked here as an intern. So I asked him like, is it possible to work? So he gave me a contact of one of the key persons who was working on that organizations. I emailed him and like approached him for internship, and he was happy to help, and he invited me to the office, and then we discussed the opportunity further and how we can work and collaborate on this.
Okay, so he was your senior?
Yeah, he was like 1 year senior to me, and he had earlier worked here.
Okay,
So he helped me. Like, he gave me the reference through which I approached.
so that's a pro tip: have connections with senior.
Yeah. You should always be open for networks. Always.
Okay. And just like you told, like some of like curriculum also consists and train you to be a data analyst. So can you just give a brief about what is the role of a data analyst, and also does it require coding? Because when I hear of data analyst, I like relate it to something like data scientist, or like we have to create Excel sheets or code something and learn Python like that. So what was your role and what is data analyst in general?
Uh, as a part of our first of all, I would talk about curriculum, and then I will go to my internship. So in the part of the curriculum we are taught in our studies, so the data analysis is more related to the more in a production context of an organization. So let's say if a company is making, let's say, engines, so you produce the chassis of the engines repeatedly. So if you have to observe the behavior of a, let's say, CNC machine, which is producing a chassis of a engine or something. So the machine's behavior is based upon how much accurately it is designing the parts. So if you observe each and every reading of the machine, it is a part of a data analysis, because let's say it makes 100 parts in a day, and each part has like 10 dimensions which you have to maintain. So it's like 1000 dimensions which have to be measured. And if you plot those measurements on a graph, you can see the behavior of a machine, how it is behaving. And based upon this, you can predict if the machine is going to fail, if the tool is going to break, if this machine is running something short of oil or anything. That means that the output of the machine is showcasing the behavior of the machine. So all this is a part of a data analysis, because in statistics you use X bar R chart, X bar S chart, then you use many statistical other tools as well to predict the behaviors. So this is the part which was covered in the curriculum at DTU, to observe to use statistical tools to predict the behavior of machines. So this is a very niche area of statistics and data analysis. Like, this is the intersection of mechanical part, if you take the statistics part, and if you take the data analytics part. So this is a small niche which they cover in the curriculum.
Okay.
But of course, if you want to like go into broad spectrum, there are a lot of other opportunities as well. And all this, if you are doing on Excel, it obviously takes a lot of time. But if you know coding, if you know, I would say Python or something, then it really gets easy to do all these analysis. But they don't teach this in the curriculum. They just tell you the backstory, the how the system works, how on the front end, if you can use it on codes, then it's good. But if you can do it on Excel, whatever suits you, like Excel or codes and everything. But you should know the core technical stuff which is going on behind this analysis. That is more important. So that is focused on our studies. And then in my internship, because I do not have a coding background as such, so I used Excel for the analysis part during my internship at Delhi Transport Corporation. So I was comfortable with Excel. It was, although it was taking me a lot of time, but at the end, I got what I was searching for through Excel, and it was fine for me. So
Right. Got it. And I don't know if it would be appropriate to ask you, but like, do you know what is the difference between business analyst and data analyst?
yeah, sort of, I guess, because like here in DTU or here in Denmark also, I have some courses which are focused on business analytics, and some courses are focused on data analytics. So I guess I have an idea. I guess because the data analytics people, they work more with the data science part of it, and they are like more into what was that? There was term data. What was I'm not able to get the term. It was more of a neural networks thing, which they are focused on, like building networks which can predict the future more of a thing. But business analytics are more concerned on understanding the business side of the process, and more concerned about strategy designing part of the business. I guess that's what I have understanding of these two domains.
Okay.
I don't know what's that.
Got it. And how you shifted to escort?
So it was a campus placement opportunity which I got.
Okay.
Like companies come to the campus, they do the recruitment hiring stuff. So I was selected and through escorts to campus. So.
Okay, got it. And I think you have covered this, like what is a process engineer, because there's like a lot of similarity, I guess, between process engineer, industrial engineer.
So process engineer is a bit different from the production engineer. So like process engineer is persons who designs the process. So I told you earlier about the mechanical people who design the part, and the production people who repeatedly run those parts in same process again and again. So the process engineer is a link between these two people. Production engineer will run the machine repeatedly. The designer will design it once. But what do you need to bridge these? How do you ensure that there are processes, there are machines, there are system in place which ensures the repeatability? So this is what I did as a process engineer. I designed assembly lines. I designed, if any new part was coming to assembly lines, I had to buy the machines, buy the testing machines, design the workstations, what is the amount of inventory which they are going to hold on the assembly line. And after the part is assembled, what are the tools they require for assembly? And after the assembly, where they are going to store it, and from there how they're going to dispatch it. So like a process and a system needs to be based to ensure production. As a process engineer, you have to do that kind of.
Okay, and you were working in railway equipment division, right?
Yeah, so the company makes like brakes and couplers and shockers for the trains of Indian Railways.
Okay. And is there like training after you get placed, or you should have been knowing this all knowledge beforehand only?
No, like for 1 year, I was a graduate engineer trainee. And then at one time, I mean, for 1 year, like I had to understand all of the products of the company, like all the shockers, couplers, and brakes, and how do they work? What is the like mechanism behind them? How are they tested? What are the parameters for testing? How are they? What are the physical conditions they experience when they are run in the fields, so that we can have similar simulations in our company as well for a good testing process, good testing procedure. So there was a 1 year training. After that, I was working as a full-time employee.
Got it. And how do you like career up in this field? Is it all about experience, or are there any niche skills that one can learn to climb up?
Like, I wouldn't say a niche skill, but like there are the basic skills which you need to require, like in communicating with team, how to talk
Mm-hmm.
with people, how to convince them about your ideas, and like negotiation skills. And you should be open to learn new things, because there's always gonna be some things which you don't know. You do not learn everything when you are working as a student, and when you are in a studying as a student in university. There's a lot of things which will come up to you. You don't know from the scratch anything, but you should be open to learn and invest time in learning those things, because they will eventually come out handy. So you should be open for learning everything. So no as such like hard or soft niche skill, I would say, but it is good to be open to learn whatever is required by the job.
Got it. Got it.